Good afternoon, everyone. It's great to be with you guys. I want to thank the BizTimes. Dan, I know there's a tremendous amount of energy that goes into filling a room with great people, and so thanks for including us. I am joined with Ariam, Kesete, and we are really excited about Fantasy Camp. We were tasked with Fantasy Camp. What could be, what if, what should be one of the largest, probably, redevelopments in the city of Milwaukee at some point. And it was really fun putting this together. I want to thank my team at F Street. I want to thank Ariam. I want to thank Steve from Rinka and his Chinese wall team that was able to help us get to where we are today. So this was fun. It's fun to be here. We're really excited to share with you a vision for the future of Northridge. How many people remember Northridge as a kid? Because I did. I used to go to the TGI Fridays probably twice a week with my mom. That was our favorite place to go for dinner. And unfortunately, that has changed. So it's great to be here. Northridge Mall 2.0, AK Development, and F Street. A little bit about AK Development.
Hi everyone, my name is Ariam Kesete, owner and operator of AK Development. We were founded in 2016, but our passion really started in real estate when I was probably the age of 2. And part of it is really just to kind of understand the fabric of real estate really came down to the fact that I was very passionate in working with people in all diverse rounds of people. So that's sort of how we came up with real estate development. It kind of keys on all aspects of not just the people, but housing, politics, banking, and things of that sort. So that is us, and this is my team. I think one of Eugene is here. He's no longer a person with hair, but the point of our company is I was a migrant to the United States. As an immigrant, one thing I've learned about real estate is that it has a way of connecting to people, things. So we're hopeful today that we're gonna present to you guys a beautiful concept that not only mirrors what F Street is able to do, but AK Development with both diverse aspects of real estate background. But more importantly, real estate development for us has been a key fabric in what we do every day. Since the inception of our company, we've done over 100 different types of transactions, from government projects all the way down to mixed income housing projects.
Great. And this is my great team at F Street. Each of them play a very important role in our business and our verticals. We specialize in multifamily, industrial, and we have a private credit side of our business that does lending, short-term lending to the real estate community throughout basically the United States. We try to focus on value-add acquisition, whether it's acquisition or development into the communities that we are fortunate enough to make investment in. We know it's a partnership. As Lafayette said, it takes a village to build some of these amazing developments, and whether you're developing in the city of Milwaukee or surrounding it, we certainly are really happy to be part of it. So thank you for that. We want to thank our dear friends over at Rinka. Steve was a great help in getting this done, Buck, Lexi, and Dan. So thank you all. Rinka has helped F Street build a tremendous amount of projects, as well as help fill our beautiful skyline in Milwaukee, and certainly are grateful for Rinka and their monopoly today. So thank you for that.
Literally.
So we talk about Northridge, and we've taken the concept of a campus approach to community. We believe that the land is so vast, there's so much to do there, that housing might be a component of it, but we think there's a lot that should and could happen at Northridge, and we've chosen to travel down the road of a campus, of what a campus would look like on the vast land that sits as Northridge today, and we're excited to share to you what our campus would look like. So this is the existing site. If anyone hasn't had a good aerial of Northridge, Northridge is vast. It's surrounded by the streets of the roundabout that you'll see there, and Ariam's going to dig into exactly what the site currently sits as today.
So we currently have what I would say 134 acres of land on this square foot. But one of the things that we learned is that it has a lot of areas where it's a mix of vehicles and housing, but yet it's one of those areas where it's like, what the hell has happened here? But more importantly, the one thing, and I appreciate our commissioner saying that we're very optimistic. So for us, when we saw Northridge was one of the things we thought about was a land of opportunity. So hence our song, My Land is Your Land kind of thing. So we're hoping today that the study area of existing parts of it is that when you enter, just to enter into Northridge, it's a little bit of a roundabout. But once you get into Northridge, you'll realize that there's a mixed use of things happening. So our concept here, and we're hoping that you'll see the vision, is to not only create a Northridge space, but to create a campus of different layers of entrances and exits so that it has a sense of community behind it. Right now we have what we call Menards, right? And Menards is one of the squares that you see here. So in the midst of all of this dilapidation and things that's happening, Menards is still an active retail that's there. So the thought process is, how do we take the current asset mapping that we have? What are the assets that we have within the community? But also taking into consideration, how do we grow what we need to do with the neighborhood as well? And some of these areas that you can see in the boxes, most of these areas have housing. Some of the corner parts of it is housing. Some of the other areas is what we call existing assets. One of the things that we had to learn is that a lot of these beautiful concepts are surrounding this dilapidated neighborhood or specific campus area. So how do we take what we call an asset mapping and try to figure out how do we remake what's happening there without sort of displacing what's existing, if that makes sense. So the idea is that we would then put a new main road into the area so that you're not necessarily isolating the campus itself, but it has a way of sort of interjecting with the whole community as a whole as well. So this is where we get into the campus approach community. So imagine imagine Central Park. Who has been to Central Park before in New York? So imagine having a Central Park component within Northridge Mall. And what I mean by that is everyone talks about the green space, but what we call this area right here, and we'll dig deeper into this conversation later, is what we call the spine, right? And the spine, if you think about a human development, the spine actually connects to all aspects of the body. And one of the things that we had to learn is that why do we need to separate the green space just for housing and not retail or not commercial components? So the thought process here is that we would have the green space to sort of celebrate all aspects of the campus that we'll have here. And the idea of this green space is allowing everyone to sort of have a meetup location. So who's been to Farmers Market? Who's been to Oak Creek and all of those locations? So that's sort of the concept, but with New York vibe to it.
I think it died.
We get 2 minutes back.
So Bob's going to need those.
So just the thought of it is making sure that we understand when it comes to community, I think it's really easy for us to throw in the word green space and things of that sort. But when you think about a green space, go ahead.
No, you're good.
So when you think about the green space, ideally the wellness component of it, right? The health and wellness, but more importantly, creating a variety of spaces around the actual green space, and these are the areas, and Scott will kind of go into detail about that.
Yeah, so we believe health and wellness is part of the future of living. We believe that the community, the people of our community, society today wants to be healthier. So we also view health and wellness as an attraction, right? If you look at where we are not far from here, they put up a Lifetime Fitness, which is a massive attraction from all over this area. We intend to use some of this as a medical facility. I think there's a need for some form of medical that will be able to help in health and wellness on the community. We also do believe that an attraction of what would be hopefully the largest pickleball center in the Midwest would be able to come to this area. And we also are focused on the fastest growing sport in the world, which is called Padel, where we'd like to introduce that into the great Midwest. There's one court in Mundelein right now. But short of that, we believe that health and wellness is a very important attribute. And so as part of our fantasy, bringing in health and wellness is an important piece and demand into what is part of our spine and campus. We also have thought of education and trade. We think that education, STEM education, training, trade is also really important for jobs. And so job creation starts with education. And we know there's a shortage in all of the union jobs that are out there. You still see welders that can earn a significant living because there's just a shortage for them. So we believe that training and a STEM education hub is also going to be part of our fantasy community with a school from all the way through high school.
So the campus approach to community. So as you all mentioned, as we mentioned earlier, one of the things that we thought about is, we can create all the community hubs of retail and things of that sort, but one critical mass to this is, again, 134 acre of land space. So we obviously have to include housing in this. So the idea is to have a mixed income housing, but more importantly, mixed space of housing. So we'll have senior living as well as luxury apartments, as well as community components of affordable. I've had the luxury of going to Germany and got to really see how luxury and affordable kind of mix together. And this is sort of the concept that we have here. So not only will we have a garden style apartments, but we'll be able to cultivate all of those kind of living together in this campus as well. And as I mentioned earlier, Menards. One of the ideas and thought process, as my partner Scott mentioned earlier, is how do we take existing retail or construction mass project that's happening within our community? Everybody's talking about all these factory buildings, but no one is actually putting their money where their mouth is. So the thought for this space is to really build a hub where all of the factory built projects are happening within the space as well. So imagine being able to actually build the products in this factory, but also having it actually built outside of these projects that you'll be a part of as well.
And this is a pretty interesting concept that is starting. It happens in Europe where they're setting up assembly manufacturing to build modular homes and modular dwelling units. And so we propose to add modular dwelling factories on the site that would also build the actual homes and the dwelling units that would be part of the project, but also be able to expand out to all of the units that are happening. Someone mentioned there's 400,000 units being built. There's a need for it. There's efficiency to it, and there's certainly a demand. So we thought the idea of building it in-house, but also having the ability to manufacture for outside of the environment would be great.
Yes.
And then, so if you kind of look at the overall campus, this is the proposed site development plan. It includes from the total campus, obviously the spine that Ariam really focused on, dwelling units, manufacturing, education, health and wellness, and all of those I think are really important to a campus approach that we believe will be an asset not only to the campus that exists, but also the ecosystem surrounding what is Northridge today. And so here's a little bit more of some of those pictures all tied together of what it could be. And we have a little bit of technical side of it of what additionally the site will be, but I want to get to the next slide here. What if?
Imagine this as a vision board, goggles. As we mentioned, the green space.
All right, so this is a vision of what if and what that site would look like on a rendered vision board. What if we had health and wellness? What if the ability to play sports, be active, and also be able to be health and mindful of your health?
What if we brought the construction companies and brought a lot of trades into the industry where jobs are no longer an issue? We have more than capable of trained individuals.
What if we brought a construction site where we're building the houses for the community, our campus, but also campuses surrounding and other dwelling units needs?
What if we had a multitude of different housing options within this site? So the thought process is to give you an outlook and outlay of how housing would look with the concept of this campus as well.
And what if our green space was the connector? What if the spine was a green space that allowed community to interact with education, which allowed you to interact with the entire ecosystem of the campus, but also those that would come to visit the campus? And so what if? This is our vision of what it could be, what it possibly could be, the fantasy of what Northridge might be. This is our campus for the community. We have taken the time to properly name this HarmonyWorks, a campus community, and we appreciate all of you being here to see our vision for Northridge. And I want to thank again Ariam and our entire team for your time today.
Thank you.
But let's see who the voters chose. The winner is Scott and Ariam. Wow. To honor the winning team, we wanted to come up with a memento or relic of sorts for your office that will be a reminder of Northridge 1.0 and an opportunity for Northridge 2.0. So because the full demo has actually not happened, we were hoping to present some remnant of one of the more memorable stores at Northridge, like Farrell's Ice Cream, Brad Dallett, or Gimbel's, but we couldn't do that. Fencing is around the whole property. So, Commissioner, I'm asking for forgiveness, but I was able to gather part of a broken curb located just outside the northeast end where the Boston store Yonkers was. So if you two could come up here.
Oh, for real? Oh, that's real.
The plaque says 2024 BizTimes Media Developers Fantasy Camp winner. Congratulations.
New York Island, and the redwood forest, to the Gulf Stream waters, this land was made.
Thank you. Dan asked that I accept this speech, and I'm so glad to be here again. I just want to thank all the judges, all of the people that have decided to continue to be part of the great real estate community here in Milwaukee. We do have one of the greatest communities of real estate people. I think we all collaborate together, and it makes our community just a little bit better. So thanks for all the reporting. Thanks to the BizTimes for having us, and thanks for all of you to be here today. So hope everyone has a great evening. Thank you.